Hi, welcome to OurVentura.com. I'm George Alger, your host for today's segment. And today we're going to be speaking about the nature of twins. And we actually have two twins with us in the studio. We have Felipe and Jorge Correa. Welcome, guys.
Hi,
Thank you.
George.
Now, let's actually get the name pronounced right. Jorge, how do you pronounce your last name?
Correa.
Oh, I like
Correa.
it better that way. Very good. All right, we're going to be talking about twins because you guys are twins. But let's just begin with a definition of twins because I know there's different kinds. So do you want to address that, Felipe?
Sure. There's traditionally, the definition is that there's two types of twins. One being the identical twin, which would be our case, and the other one, the fraternal twins. Normally speaking, fraternal twins are opposite sex. There's a boy and a girl.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is the most common for fraternal twins. And the biology behind it is that the identical twins is just one egg that split in two and created two bodies. Whereas the fraternal twins is two eggs got impregnated at the same time. So it's two different bodies.
Okay.
Okay, so and that is the main reason why identical twins are so identical.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's kind of funny because, so you guys definitely look alike, and I know that that has had a unique impact on your lives that's different from everyone else who's not a twin. So let's just talk about how you've experienced life as twins. Right off the bat, first of all, where were you born?
We were born in Santiago, Chile,
Okay.
and we've been living, let's say, like the last 30 years apart. Yeah, he's been.
Right, because Felipe moved to California here
Yes,
in Ojai, back in what year now?
2000.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, a Ventura County dude.
Mhm.
And then you're visiting from Chile right now.
I'm visiting from Chile, yes.
All right.
My holidays, my vacations.
And I know you guys are really close as twins too, because in spite of the geographical distance across continents, I think you guys talk every day.
Well, thanks to technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool, and we can really keep in touch. Makes a huge difference. Yeah, it's good.
Now,
We like it.
have you guys met other twins in your life?
Actually, this weekend we met our neighbor across the street from where I live. This is old lady who lived there, and she had to be moved to a nursing home. So her son, who lives in Michigan, came, and he's got an identical twin brother. So Saturday afternoon, we all four met out there on the street. It was sort of weird to see another pair of guys looking exactly the same like we do.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Well, I bet there are some fun adventures you could tell us about, but let's address that in a moment. First of all, there's probably some challenges, that are associated with being twin, just because, right off the bat, I imagine some people might not always know exactly who they're dealing with. So, what would be some of the challenges
Well,
you guys have experienced?
I think that maybe that's one of the toughest challenge when you get to meet people who don't know who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be walking on the street, and then this person comes to you and say, "Hi, Felipe," and you have to start. Okay, yeah, you must be an engineer. You went to the school with my brother. I'm his brother. I'm Jorge. I'm not Felipe. And they go, "Oh well." I mean, that's kind of. You always have to be pointing out that you're not the person who the other one thinks you are.
Right.
On the ordinary life, you wouldn't do that. It's kind of difficult to be mistaken.
Sometimes that could occur between brothers or sisters when
but
they're
not as often.
Yeah, so I imagine with identical twins, that's pretty regular.
It's very funny.
Yeah, and the most difficult part is that it's really difficult to have your own identity, because up to our teenage years, before we got married, we were just the twin. So everybody would talk about us. They wouldn't call me by my name. They would just call me, "Hey, twin," because they didn't know who I was. It was very hard. It was in those days. It was very, very hard for anybody to recognize us, which is it's got its really neat advantages when you want to do bad things. But one of the main issues is identity. who you really are.
Yeah. Any other
And
challenges?
excuse me. And on the other hand, sometimes you say, "Well, I'm Felipe's brother." I'm her. Come on, you're kidding me.
Oh,
no."
yeah.
You know, they don't
even
believe you.
you. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had to show my ID to
Yeah.
people to prove that I am who I am and I'm not him. And he's had to do that. And you're showing them your ID,
And
and
don't
they
believe
still
you.
refuse to believe that it's not the person they know. You know, it's so
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah, that would be a challenge. All right, well,
Yeah.
let's flip the coin then. So I bet you guys have a lot of amusing stories and adventures and
Yeah.
We have a few.
Yeah, well,
We have a
well,
few.
you know, any that you can make public?
You don't want to
Less
give
than
away
a
your
few.
trade secrets. Well, the most common one and the easiest one that you can pull off, it's just saying, hey, it's not me, it wasn't me, it was him.
Yeah.
You know, and who's going to know?
Now, I know you guys are in the military together as well, and this was the Chilean Armed Forces. All right, and were you in the same unit?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, we were not.
Okay.
It would have been
And
bad.
that was great.
It would have been bad.
Okay.
Because imagine you're in military school, you all have the same haircut, you all wear the same uniform, and we
And,
look.
and back then we didn't use a name because now they carry the name here. Back then we didn't.
We didn't. So
Wow.
so it was so easy to get away with so many things that you were not supposed to do, blaming it on the other.
Well, are you going to tell us one of these?
Okay. You were not allowed to smoke during certain hours, specifically when you were in classes or stuff like. You were only allowed to smoke when you have your cafeteria time. In those days, you could smoke in the buildings.
Yeah.
And then we would just go and smoke anywhere, and then if we were caught, we said, no, it wasn't me, it was my brother. And that way we got away with everything.
Because it's not a big enough deal where they're really going to push it to bother finding out what the real
Yeah,
truth
and everybody
matter
knew
is.
that in that unit there were a pair of twins.
Okay.
So they understood
Yeah.
who we were talking about.
The only problem is when they caught us together, then
Yeah.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
busted.
Yeah.
Every time when they busted us because we were together, so we couldn't blame it on the other one.
You can't say you have another set of twins.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So that is one of the
And
advantages.
when you were growing up, did even your mom or your dad have any difficulty at times telling you apart?
To this day,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I call my mother sometimes, and she thinks it's very special in our case. It's not very common, but we have the same
Voice.
the same tone of voice, and when we talk in Chilean Spanish, we can sound exactly like each other. So sometimes I call my mother, and sometimes I do it on purpose. I know how to do it so that she'll think that she's talking to him and
I've
not
never
me.
done that on purpose.
So I let her go on about his things for a while. I say, no, you know what? I'm not Jorge. I'm Felipe. Oh, okay. So that's one of the. It
happens to me
sometimes it's
too.
very hard.
Even though we see each other a lot with my mother, I live with her practically, and still sometimes she confuses me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your voice.
In my voice. Yeah.
Well, obviously you have a very distinct and different personalities.
Very.
But there are things that you do that, you know, you both like. For instance, I'm fascinated by the fact that you're both so into cooking, you know. Did you guys develop that at the same time, that interest?
Well, I think it started with my father because he was a good cook also. So in some way we've been in the kitchen, so to speaking, since we were little kids.
Okay.
So we
It's
we
very
used-
Italian.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it all started there.
All right.
Yeah. But Felipe took some classes.
Yeah, I
Right.
did study a bit, but
Yeah.
we used to get together with a very close cousin who's sort of our age, and we would, all three guys would be at the kitchen cooking, and the girls would be in the living room, you know, yapping away, and that's how, you know, we would get along, and we would do different foods. And my cousin is also a foodie, so you know, we would dream up those dinners we do sometimes, George.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, I know here in Ventura County, Felipe likes to have some parties, and folks come from far and wide to attend them. So that's so that's great. Now, the one of the things that, of course, that you guys make famous as a difference is, you know, you have different political inclinations. And we don't need to go into that, but I mean, I just find that it's fascinating that you're at the polar opposite end of something, a subject like politics, where, you know, many families, not all, of course, but, you know, there are families where, you know, the politics do, you know, there's similarities. Was there a point where you guys realized you just were going in different directions in that regard?
Well, it's it's a big question.
Hot subject. Yeah.
Well,
of course, George, of course.
Yeah,
Well,
we don't need to get
Chile
into
happened a lot-
details of it.
No, okay. The thing is that in Chile happened many things.
Yeah.
You know, political things, important issues. We have some issues over there.
Okay.
So we just made different choices. I mean, I choose one way of seeing things, and he chose another one.
Yeah.
That's it. And you start walking there, you go all the way.
And also our professional background is a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, how different can an engineer be from an attorney?
Yeah.
So, you know, that also has, because as an engineer, you have a view, you know, you view things in a certain manner, a certain way, and lawyers tend to have a different
We have our
viewpoint.
own ways.
Yes. Well, the reason I'm even bringing it up is because from an outside observer like myself, looking at folks that do seem alike, and you can sometimes miss the fact that the personalities are really different. And therefore, I just wanted to sort of highlight that to emphasize, you guys have as unique personalities as anybody else, even though
Absolutely.
you look the same and you
Absolutely.
sound the same. you
Yeah,
know?
but the important thing to mention is that in the end, the bottom line, we're always on the same page.
Mm.
Okay, so that and I think that in my opinion is the main difference between having a brother or a sister or having a twin brother or a twin sister, is that there is a unique connection that you cannot replicate under any other circumstances, because you have to realize we've been together since before we were born. We had to share, and let me tell you, it was pretty tight in there. So that in itself has something that I've heard many twins try to explain.
You can't explain.
It's just impossible. There's no reality for people who haven't lived it.
And for people who say exactly what you're saying is, how come you're so different, being so alike? But at the end, we come close together and we feel the same. We don't have to say nothing because we just feel it. And that is very difficult to explain and very difficult to understand on the other hand. Especially if we get into talking politics or faith or some, those big issues.
Yeah.
But at the end, it's kind of funny that we agree. We're able to agree to be with one another. And that is because we're twins, I think. Yeah.
That's great. And actually, you guys, in addition...
in fact, I've known a lot of brothers who have huge fights, and they just go apart.
Mm.
We've had huge fights.
Oh yeah,
Huge.
monumental.
Yeah, but we're still together. We remain together. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because we're twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a difference. It makes a difference.
That is good. Well, I also know that in addition to speaking to each other every day, in spite of the fact that you guys live on different continents, you visit each other pretty regularly.
Yes, we do.
I mean, Felipe goes down to Chile, you're up here in California, and it seems like once a year one of you guys is going to visit the other.
Yeah, we do. That's very common.
That's well done.
We try to do that as much as possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, good. So we've actually run out of time,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to thank you both for stopping by our Ventura. And I'm going to sign off. So this is George Alger. Until we meet again on another segment in the future.